Hey guys, this is Kirob speaking, and today we are back in Pro Cycling Manager 2023 with the medium mountain stat, because that is exactly what we are going to investigate today. As with all stats in the game, they are quite a bit of a black box. No one tells you when they are used, what they exactly are used for, and what the different levels of them would do and how they mix and so on. It is a giant black box, and the only thing that you can do with black boxes is either ask the devs what is actually going on, or secondly, you could data mine it, or thirdly, you can just try it out. And we are going for option number 3 today. So, what does the medium mountain stat, and for that matter, the hill stat and the mountain stat, really do to your riders? Let's do some PCM science, shall we? For this purpose of testing, I have found not only the perfect rider, well, okay, I'm actually database editing the perfect rider, who today is our guinea pig, and his name is Greg van Avermaet. Also, he is not feeling all too well. He has a flat mountain, medium mountain and hill stat of 50, but acceleration of 85. So, all things going well, he should be very quick to get to a certain speed and then hold it at a very low level. So, that is what our baseline is going to be, and I found the perfect stage to try it out. Well, this is things in practice, right? We don't have a controlled test environment. We only have speeds given in full integer kilometers per hour. That is not enough to be precise here, but I've designed the test such that we should be getting a reasonably good gauge of what is actually going on. The perfect stage, you ask, what is this one? Well, look at this one. It is stage number 6 on the Switzerland Tour, and that one starts with a first category climb that has an astonishingly even slope. It's not perfect, but it is all around like 8.5 to 8.8% for the parts that we're going to test on, and that is going to give us reasonably good results. What? We're not the favorite? Greg, why aren't you the favorite today? Alright, so, this is perfect. We are not getting any bonus with this race day condition. So we do have a clean 50-50-50 here, and I'm going to show you how this test is going to be run. First of all, we need to fall out of the peloton, which is reasonably easy to do, especially with these stats. We're going to set all our teammates to do proper lead work to get rid of the peloton as quickly as possible. Because when you stop, your rider is actually taken out of the race. So we can go 1, but that is enough to ride with the peloton for the most part. Because the game is, over the years, not improved in that regard. It's more gamified than ever. 1 is basically the same as 50, for the most part. And there they go. You see, he can easily follow at 1, which shouldn't be the case, but... and he is even being spooled forwards. Yes, so we can stop him a little bit, just so that he falls out, but he's not allowed to get off his bike. There, okay. I think that's fine now. Yeah, okay. Now we have to wait for our colleagues to get to the front and actually pull the peloton, because this is way too slow. Because we are not getting... They're not getting away. And look at this. Like, he's at 143 heart rate, going at 1 effort. Ah, yes. Well, this is how this test is going to run, and this is not looking good because, well, we don't have enough gap to the peloton at the moment. But usually that's not as much of a problem because one of your guys is further to the front and kind of clears the peloton away. This section here, then not this corner, and then the next straight. Let's take a look at it. Like here, you see this is 9.39. Here it gets a little too steep again to be consistent, 10. But then we get one large straight that is pretty much even sloped from here, 8.5, 8.6, 8.8, 8.6, 8.4 is the lowest there. And you see, that's a pretty long straight. And we can now increase our effort and get some acceleration, or so you would think. Let me illustrate one point, which really shouldn't be in the game. This feels very broken, but that's PCM for you. Here, 13 kilometers an hour, right? And we are now amping up by 50%. All right, ready? Ready for the burst of speed? 13, 2, 13. That's the increase in speed that we have. 0. There's no difference between riding 1 and 50. So now let's amp it up to 70. And we have 15 kilometers an hour. Remember, we have 85 acceleration so that we don't have to wait too long to get the new speed. And then I'm going to go in steps. I've made them up here. Efforts 50, 60, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 95 and 99 are going to be tested. Yeah, poor Greg. Poor Greg. 80. Is 80 looking any better? 17 kilometers an hour. Wow. And 85. 18. Can we see more? Nope. 90. Come on. Come on. We saw 19. We saw 19 for a split second. Now we have to wait. This is too steep to say anything. This is too shallow. This is too steep. Let's take a look at the profile again. You see it there? Yeah, this is the steep section. But after that, we get some even again. So I will have the time in every run to do a few different settings here and actually make them work. And there we go. So 21 for 95 and 99 is at also 21, I guess. He was out of red bar there. I'm going to do some careful testing now, and before that, I want to show you something that is pretty funny. So just to clarify, I'm using the PCM Fast Editor. You can download that tool for free, and I'm editing the save game directly. Just input the numbers that I want to test, and off we go. Just load the game, and you get into the stage, right? But what we're going to do now is try out to have him have stats 50 in everything, apart from Hill, where he has 85. So, what does that do? And there he is, the Hill Master himself. His nickname is Terrence. Alright, so here we go. 3D race once again. Let's see if we can see where Hill kicks in. Oh wow. Okay, Greg is the favorite to win this one with Hill 85 and acceleration 85. I think they forgot to calculate the mountain stat. Oof, we have a 0 race day condition, which means that we do get an 87. I think that doesn't really matter, but and our tests are going to be so inaccurate that it doesn't really matter. But the overall gist of it should be clear. Anyway, this time around they're pulling away nicely. Let's get around the bend and start our testing. So we have a 13. Alright, now up to 60. We have a 13. Now up to 70. We have a 15. It's getting a little shallower. 15? Is that the final? Yeah, 15. 75 is a 16. 80 is a 17. 85 is an 18. And this is the point where we all know Hillstat kicked in before in the older versions of the game. Let's see if it still does. Do we get a significant speed increase here? 19, 20, 21? Yeah. Yeah, we do. And of course, previously, 95 was pure Hill. Let's see if we get another... Wow! And he's going 26, but that's a little... Wait a sec, that's a little too fast. He's going to lose his red. We wait for better slope. So now we have the perfect slope here to test. Go, go, go. 95. 95 is 27 kilometers an hour. And 99, we go 28, attack, 29, 28, that's it, 28. All right, thanks, Mr. Terence Hill. And we are going to do this kind of testing for all kinds of combinations and see where they, and then graph them to see what's going on and when it's going on. All right, now I just get into quiet testing, and if I find anything that's hilarious, I'm going to share it with you. And otherwise, I shall see you with the results. Okay. At 80, we already see some effects of the medium mountain. This is the medium mountain test run. And from a very brief first test prior to this, I know this is going to get a little funny. And this is it. This is actually it. So, please observe. 95. Just watch it. 95, right? And 99. 99. Do you see something? Do you notice something? Yeah? Maybe? Do you? We're not losing any red bar! You know why? There seems to be some kind of ancient dormant layer of simulation between the numbers and the user or whatever, the outputs, that I wasn't aware of. And which usually doesn't matter either. But it seems like, due to his much weaker hill stat in this case, much weaker, 50 instead of 85 for the medium mountain, what happens is that he loses speed. And at that point, the medium mountain stat starts to matter more again for some reason. So, one thing that we learned from this test is quite fascinating. The efforts are mapped onto a certain speed instead of being mapped onto the effort. So effort is not mapped to effort is mapped to speed. And that gives you a little bit of a weird behavior, you know, if you see like going 99 effort is not going 99 effort. It has nothing to do with that. Usually it just works because the mapping is close enough, because the stats are close enough, so that it still makes sense. But this shows that the system is a little weird. Yeah, you can do 99 all day. Oh, that's funny. Anyway, continuing to test. And now that we have gathered all the data, we can have a little bit of an analysis and see if what Danilo Silva posted in my YouTube comments is accurate or not. Let's find out. Alright, so this is the resulting graph that you get from these tests. And the roof of this graph is basically all stats 85, while the bottom of the graph is naturally all stats 50. You see those indicated by the dotted lines, so those are the natural boundaries that we're moving within. And then we have the red line being our test with 85 mountain and the rest of the stats 50, while the yellow line is hill 85 and the rest 50. Medium mountain, of course, the blue line then. So, you see this little zigzaggy going on. Very professional analysis right there, Kirob. And while this is very coarse, as you can see, it is giving us a reasonably consistent picture of what is going on, and we can make some guesses that are within a few points of effort and a few points of skill, basically. So let's take a look here. What are the observations? Well, you can read them there, right? So hill starts to matter from aroundish 88, from what I can tell here, and maxes out at 95, or slightly before, hard to tell. Medium mountain starts to blend in at around 77, which can be deducted from the slope of the medium mountain. That is, if you extend it down, it points towards the 77 when you look at the correct slope value. If we had tested efforts one by one instead of in steps of 5, this would be a clearer picture of this, of course. But of course, we are also at the same time fighting the very coarse nature of only seeing integer speeds. And that means naturally that we have a little bit of error bars here and there, which I have not included here, of course. But Mountain, we see, maxes out until something like 77 and is pretty much gone by something like 88 to 90. And yes, so this is what we're getting. What was this postulated behavior by our YouTube commentator? I think this is coming from data mining, and that was 0 to 77 effort means pure mountain. 82 effort is half mountain, half medium mountain. 77 effort was pure medium mountain. 91 effort, half medium mountain, half hill. And 95 pure hill. So does this check out? I would say yes, but not entirely in practice, because of the effect that we were observing where a lower stat that is higher kind of cushions the upper stat that is lower. We did see that with Greg when he was going 99 and not using any red bar. And there you have the analysis of it all. Medium Mountain is a mystery no more. Well, at least with significantly large error bars thanks to the inaccuracies of the game and the limited competence of the test environment and tester of this mechanic. That would be me. Anyway. So this is quite useful, I think, for your playing, and if you enjoyed this or found it useful, please drop a like and maybe consider subscribing as well. And with that, I hope you enjoyed, and see you guys next time.